I've got everything in front of me. Was there a small claims case?
Yes. And at that time, we made an agreement
Go ahead.
that after August, which was Akram Rashid's current lease, that there were not supposed to be any changes to, yet that wasn't the case. I would be on a month to month. I raised my right hand. Kevin Callahan, yourself, and I made that agreement. He swore to me, my mother, which then reported it to my banks. I reported it to my private attorneys in New York City that managed my work. And I contacted the courts. I talked to him verbally over the phone from his office in St. Clair Shores. And he stated to me that I swear, you're going to receive that sheet of paper. I waited and I waited and I waited. Spring and summer came to fruition and I called the courts. It's getting, later in the year. Where's the sheet of paper? It was as easy as that. There was no failure of me to make the payment. I still have the finances set aside. I feel like they are trying to retaliate against me because I've continued to make reports.
The woman claims a landlord is retaliating against her, but she's the one not paying rent and living month to month like it's nothing. She keeps acting loud, nervous, and bossy as if she runs a courtroom. The lawyer in the bottom corner looks exhausted listening to her nonsense. The narrator says, retaliation only counts if you did something protected by law, not when you're a bad tenant who causes problems but still wants free Wi-Fi.
Which is my sole discretion. I have the right to do that. Between the Michigan State Police that were called on numerous occasions by other.
Ma'am, I'm going to have to stop you because I'm not clear what you're talking.
Well, I think that there's a position here where there's charges that he wanted to dismiss, but because he did not fulfill the obligation that he promised me, by August, I was being manipulated and they're not following through with their original agreement.
Manipulated by whom?
I, yourself, and Callahan last January coming into February. We sat in the Zoom conference. I presented the paperwork that was unorthodox.
Judge, if I may, I have information on this.
And this change of ownership will not affect your lease agreement. She put unless otherwise indicated in your current signed lease. Well, unless otherwise means I can't do what I'm claiming I'm going to do. She broke these laws.
She being whom?
E.J. Elizabeth Jefferson, who claimed to be a property manager that no one had ever met. There is no legible address. The Attorney General states that she's not a registered or licensed person. The federal offices told me not to be in business with them.
Ma'am,
yep.
I'm going to tell you right now, you've lost me.
From the very beginning, I presented, the first time I came in to see you, I presented both pieces of paper.
Stop for a moment.
Okay.
I had them pull a small claims case involving yourself against Bell Management.
Yeah, they did things that were illegal. Fair housing.
Ma'am, that was over a year ago. I would like to say I absolutely remember that.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I'm in dismay myself, sir, because I made that agreement with you. I clearly don't allow a judge or myself to be taken advantage of by an attorney's office.
Well, I don't know that I've been taken advantage of.
I believe I have been.
Okay.
I would not enter your courts to present this witness information as fair.
Ma'am, stop for one moment. Okay. Let me hear, I've heard from you for a while. Let me hear from the other side.
Okay.
Mr. Callahan.
Thank you, Judge. Kevin Callahan, P78273, representing Bell Asset Management. The matter that Ms. Malik is speaking of was a previous matter, a small claims matter that was filed against my client in conjunction with a non-payment of rent matter that we filed against Ms. Malik. Those matters have been decided. Those matters are closed. It has no bearing on this matter whatsoever. This current case, Ms. Malik even admitted she's on a month-to-month tenancy. We provided a 30-day notice to Ms. Malik. She never showed up to court, so a default judgment was entered back in October against Ms. Malik. We subsequently filed a writ of eviction. That writ was signed by Your Honor, and now we get this motion to set aside that default 2 months after the default was entered, alleging that no attorney present and it was against her rights. And I'm as lost as you are with this, Judge. There's no basis to set this judgment aside. Ms. Malik is a month-to-month tenant. She has to vacate the property. However, I will say for the record, because I'm not going to let my reputation possibly be besmirched on the record here of doing anything illegal or improper, Ms. Malik has called my office and left over 120 voicemails accusing me of crimes under the federal law that don't exist, made threats against me, my family. Ms. Malik, I allowed you to speak. Please allow me to speak. She's made threats against my bar license. She's made threats against my family. She's made threats against my office staff. It has been deplorable what my staff has gone through with Ms. Malik over a situation that is a simple month-to-month termination, and Ms. Malik refuses to leave the property, Judge.
The lawyer tells the judge that she threatened him, his staff, and his office. But she denies everything and insists she only asked for a paper confirming her month-to-month agreement. The judge reminds her that she missed 2 court hearings, which is why a judgment was entered against her and why the eviction was approved. She keeps interrupting him, and he warns her that one more interruption will lead to a fine. He explains that the landlord legally won the case, the eviction order is valid, and there is no reason to cancel it. Paying now doesn't matter because they want her out, not her money. She keeps repeating the same story about promises, papers under her door, and bank receipts, but the judge tells her none of it changes the eviction because the case is already over, and he denies her request. She then asks to stay until the end of January, but the judge refuses and instead gives her 10 extra days until January 16th. She keeps asking more questions, and he tells her to listen as he explains her escrow money will be returned in 15 days. She tries to give him a new address, but he tells her to give it to the clerk, and finally orders her to leave the courtroom.